necessarily be political, which I probably haven't been since 2016. Now I am. And one of the things that I did really for the first time this year locally was actively volunteer for a campaign. And I did that for the very first time because I believe in this woman. I was energized by this woman. I was excited to hear her message and to help her move her message forward. And I am beyond thrilled that we have women in our community, representing our community, who we are proud of, who we applaud for, who we stand for, who we go to Albany for. And it is my honor to welcome I keep calling her Senator Metzger in public because it's really important you all use Senator Metzger in public because it's her title. So Senator Jen Metzger, please come up and join us.
Just a little advertising. So I thank you. There were so many wonderful things about this campaign, and one of them was making new friends with Michelle and with so many of you, and to learn about all the incredibly inspiring people doing so much inspiring work in our communities. I also feel incredibly fortunate to have a partner in Assemblywoman Gunther. This is a woman that gets things done. And I think she may have passed more bills, gotten more bills into law than probably any other assembly person. But importantly, she cares for and works really hard at the ground level in communities for all of us. So, and that's really what it's about. So 3 years ago, donning a pink pussy hat that my mom knitted, I got on a bus that was packed full of women from Ulster County, heading for our nation's capital the day after President Trump was inaugurated. And we joined over 500,000 women, but also men and children, in solidarity to stand up for women's rights and to stand up for justice for all people. It was an incredibly powerful day. It was an incredibly empowering day. But unfortunately, as we know, he did not listen to us. And in the time since, we have seen his administration launch a full-blown assault on women's health, women's rights, and on issues that are important to our collective well-being, on the environment. It's been a war on our environment, on public education, on affordable access to health care, on so many important issues. Have we sat by idly watching this happen? No! Instead of just taking to the streets, we also took to the polls. And in this last election, elected more women to the state legislature and to Congress than ever before. And yes, thank you. There's a picture of that. And we have more diversity in those halls of our capitals, both capitals, Albany and Washington, D.C., than ever before. I ran, and I think a lot of the new colleagues in the Senate also ran because we wanted to make change happen. We were ready to do it here in New York. And it wasn't about just building a firewall against regressive federal policies, though that is a hugely important piece of it. But it's also about building a positive model and really showing the way forward. And with this election, with this past election, women went from comprising less than a quarter of the membership of the New York State Senate to fully a third, which is a big accomplishment. And for the first time in history, we have a woman at the helm of the New York State Senate. Majority Leader Andrea Kelly. This is a leader of extraordinary integrity, experience, and such a deep commitment to serving the needs of all New Yorkers. And we are in such an incredible place right now. And I just want to say that these changes owe to all of you. It was all of the work that was done, knocking on thousands and thousands of doors, making thousands and thousands of calls, driving everywhere, writing postcards till your hands were cramped, talking to neighbors, friends, to many strangers. This election happened because we made it happen, and we showed that it could be done. And now, Assemblywoman Gunther, the Assembly, the State Senate are showing that we can get it done. In our very first full legislative session, we passed major campaign finance and election reform, which is huge on my agenda. That work is not done, by the way, and I have a bill to ban all corporate donations to candidates, which I hope you all will support. But these were huge achievements, bills that have been languishing in the past, that we were able to move forward right away. As Shannon mentioned, we passed long-needed legislation to protect transgender people under our hate crimes law, and also banned the absolutely abhorrent practice of conversion therapy for minors. And next week, Shannon gave a little preview, but next week we will be passing 3 pieces of legislation. Again, this is legislation that has been around for years that we have been working to pass, and we're going to pass it. And that I am a proud co-sponsor of the Reproductive Health Act. In the Senate, Senator Liz Krueger, my friend and colleague, will be introducing. And that, as Shannon mentioned, we are going to be updating our thoroughly antiquated abortion laws in this state and guaranteeing full autonomy for women in New York over their reproductive decisions. I'm also proud to co-sponsor the Comprehensive Contraceptive Care Act, which is so important to making sure that women and men in New York State have affordable access to the full range of FDA-approved contraception. So this is about equity, no co-pays, no deductibles, everyone has access to it. And last but not least, yours truly will be sponsoring the BOSS bill, which will prohibit discrimination by employers against employees for their reproductive decisions. Together, these pieces of legislation will provide essential protections for women's health and guarantee their fundamental right to make the reproductive choices that are right for them and their families, free of government or employer interference. Now, there's a lot more to be done, and there's a lot of hard work to be done. There are huge equity issues. There are huge access issues to affordable health care, to a clean environment, to a living wage, to so many. These are the big issues, and it's going to take, all of these are big issues, but they're hard issues. And it's going to take a lot of work. And it's so important that all of us here remain informed, remain engaged in this, because democracy only happens when people show up. And public participation starts with the election. It doesn't end with it. As Aileen said, we need you. We need you to continue the fight for these principles, to turn them into a reality in New York State. I want to thank you for being here. It's such an honor to be with you all tonight. Thank you for making positive change happen.
Signs. Woo! George, could you stand up and take a picture of these signs? For you guys that don't know, George Belcher is this area's council member for our ward here in Fort Jervis. He's going to take a picture. Look at this. Follow the rules. Oh, that's horrible. I didn't say that right. Pass the Reproductive Health Act. Make New York a sanctuary state. Absolutely. Resist. Love your neighbors. We're all going to march right now. We thank Port Jervis Police Department. They're going to make sure that our march is safe and that we can safely cross at all the intersections. Just be aware, if anyone decides to act in negative ways towards you, just to ignore the negative behavior as much as you can. And let's just show everyone. Use your signs to activate others. I want to invite Ann Akers up to give us a quick benediction prayer as we go. And then we'll meet out front, take a group photo, and head through the town. Thank you for coming.
Quick is the operative word here. Let me offer a blessing. May the spirit of outrage be joined by love. May the courage to speak out be aligned with action for change. May the bonds that connect us be strengthened by our common purpose towards love, justice, and kindness. May our common dream for a new world make strangers into friends and partners in the sacred work of justice and freedom. Go in peace and fight for right. Amen.